Southwest Florida family and their supporters reeling tonight from the latest setback in their quest for change after the death of their loved one. I'm Jane Monreal.
I'm Patrick Nolan. A citizens review panel in Collier County is not recommending any policy changes after a deputy shot and killed Nicolas Morales Pesanilla last year in Immokalee's farm worker village. Fox 4's Rob Manch live in Collier County, where he's been speaking with the stepson of this man. His name is Jesus Andrade. And Rob, this had to be an emotional night for him and all those who believe this case should have gone differently.
Right, this meeting was hard to sit through for sure. The panel actually re-watched the dash cam video of the deputy shooting and killing Nicolas Morales. We're only going to show you part of that video in our story tonight because the rest is far too graphic. Now, we weren't able to bring our cameras into that meeting, but I was there and watched as some of the audience members reacted to that video in shock. One of them was Jesus Andrade, who tells me that he still feels like he hasn't gotten justice for his father's death. A group of advocates with the Coalition of Immokalee Workers came out to the meeting in Naples to support Jesus Andrade and to speak on his stepfather's behalf. But throughout the 2-hour meeting, they never got the chance.
We tried to come out here as a community and try to tell them and prove a point and try to get our voice out, but we couldn't even do that.
During the meeting, the dash cam video of Morales' death was played again. The panel finding that deputies did nothing wrong in shooting him, because Morales moved toward them with a pair of gardening shears in his hand. But Andrade says he believes there were alternatives.
They had a K-9 unit right there, and what do you say the K-9 used for? To de-escalate, to stop the perpetrator. Why didn't they release the K-9 first?
Instead, a deputy released the police dog shortly after Morales was shot and fell to the ground. The dog tore into Morales' shoulder, and its handler struggled to get the dog to let go. After the panel's meeting, we spoke with Nelly Rodriguez with the CIW. She says they were disappointed in the committee's conclusion.
We thought that it would be an opportunity for another group to see and to understand what we saw from the very beginning, that the death of Nicolas was in no way justified. And so we are where we were at the beginning.
The state's attorney's office has also concluded the deputy who killed Morales should not be charged. But the coalition says it does not plan to let these setbacks keep them from seeking change.
We have to take this back to the community, talk about it, and figure out what our next steps will be as a community.
Collier County ain't gonna hear the last of us, you know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna let them get away this easy, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna fight, and we're gonna fight hard.
And this is now the third time that the deputies involved in that shooting have been found to be justified in their use of deadly force. The first time was through the Collier County Sheriff's Office internal investigation. The second was from a state attorney's decision. And finally, from the Citizen Review Board tonight, Patrick.
Rob, we have heard the sheriff talk about his deputies getting this specialized training called the Memphis Method, and we know all the deputies on the scene that night received crisis intervention training before that night, meaning that training is supposed to help deputies find non-deadly ways to deal with someone who might be in a mental health crisis, which this man's family claims he was in, right?
You're right, Patrick. All the deputies on scene that night did have crisis intervention training, but in this case, a deputy tonight said that de-escalation tactics actually do not have to be used in the case of a deadly weapon being present. In this case, that was the gardening shears that Nicolas Morales was holding that night. I asked each member of the Citizen Review Board for a comment tonight, but each of them told me that they declined to offer any comment after their decision. We're live in Naples tonight. Rob Manch, Fox 4.